Imagine being at a stoplight and your car starts making weird noises and it starts to smoke, and you realize that you're past due for the mechanics. And you start to think of all the things that you haven't had checked in a long time. And when you have a car, there's all kinds of stuff that you need to get checked, but one of the most important things is your oil. When you check your oil, you want to pull out the dipstick. You want to wipe it off, stick it back in, and pull it back out. And you always want to make sure that it's not below the line. If it's ever below the line, then you need to go to the store and get you some oil and fill it up. Fuck. But you don't want to fill it up too much, because if you overflow it, then it'll get on everything. When you start your car, it'll start smoking. And if you're ever going on a road trip or something, or you're going somewhere far, you want to make sure all your fluids are full. You got your antifreeze right here. You want to make sure you got that full all the time. And you got transmission fluid right here. And you need to make sure that the windshield wiper fluid is always full, just in case your window gets dirty when you're driving. And you got your brake fluid. You don't ever want to run out of that. You always want to make sure that's full. If it's not full, you could always wreck or something like that. And you got your air pressure to your tires. You always want to make sure that you carry a pressure stick with you all the time in your car. And when you go to check it, you always want to check it right here. You want to put it on right there.
Have the recommended PSI.
You want to make sure your car's tires have the recommended PSI. If your tires ever get too low, then it's easy. You could just pull over at a gas station and get them filled with air. You always want to make sure that your turn signals work, most definitely, especially when you're on the interstate. You want to make sure that your lights work when you're driving at nighttime, so people can see you. If your turning signals don't work, then somebody they won't know that you're turning, and you could end up wrecking. You always, whenever you're making sure that your lights work, if the turning signal, you mess with that for a minute, make sure it works properly. You want to make sure your mirrors are clean, so when you go to cross over, you can make sure that there's nobody on the side of you. Make sure they're not too dirty. You always want to keep a spare tire, just in case you have a blowout. Another thing for a car, it's not always under the hood. Whenever you want your car to be well maintenance, you can always have it washed and waxed and stuff and have it shining. And make sure you ain't got no scratches on it and stuff. The spark plugs, that's another thing under the hood. Your spark plugs, you want to make sure that they're always not too rusted, and if they get really rusted, then you need to change them. You always want to make sure they're pretty clean and brand new. And your battery. You always want to make sure that the connections on your battery are in the right spot and they're never in the wrong spot, or something really bad could happen and you can't get it jumped. That's a lot of ways that you can keep your car well maintenance. So again, you got the fluids, you got the brakes that need to be checked, the spark plugs, the tire pressure, and your headlights and your turn signals. You want to make sure all that is in check. before you go somewhere.